Mama Stoots always said, if you don't have anything nice to say about anybody, then don't say anything at all. But that doesn't get people talking on YouTube. And we can't talk about the AFC South without talking about some of the bad things about the opponents that the Houston Texans will have in the AFC South. The reigning, defending, undisputed AFC South champion Houston Texans, well, they split against the Jaguars last year, losing at home and winning in Jacksonville. They split against the Colts, losing at home, winning in Indianapolis, and they took care of the Titans in both of the matchups against Tennessee. It's going to be a more difficult division this year. All of the teams in the AFC South feel pretty good about their quarterback situation. All of these guys are the unquestioned starter. They're the current franchise QB for the team. There's nobody nipping at their heels. They're the guy if they're healthy for the entire season. This wide receiver group for the AFC South, some really, really impressive wide receiver rooms. And I would argue against almost any division in football, the divisional wide receiver talent is more in the AFC South than just about any division. And it goes on and on and on. But I wanted to talk specifically about the Jaguars, the Colts, and the Tennessee Titans. And Mama said, you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything nice at all. But I'm going to say something nice about each AFC South team that makes them a formidable team here in the 2024 season. Then I'm going to say something mean about them that makes them not as scary in 2024. Let's start with the Indianapolis Colts. I think Shane Steichen's one of the best coaches in all of football. He is one of the best coaches in all of football. He should have been in the Coach of the Year conversation last year. DeMeco Ryans should have won it, but Shane Steichen should have been in the conversation. He loses his quarterback early on in the season, a rookie quarterback that, by the way, was playing really well. He didn't have Jonathan Taylor because the owner and the running back got into a fight over how much he should get paid. He had massive injuries along his offensive line. His defense had a couple of guys get banged up, and he was still a game away and maybe even a couple of completions in the red zone away from winning the AFC South. They have a fantastic coach in Shane Steichen in Indianapolis, and they're going to be a factor in the AFC South as long as he is coaching at a super high level. And I believe that's not going away anytime soon. And in fact, he's probably going to be even better this year. He and DeMeco Ryans are going to be quite the foil for years to come in the AFC South. Now I get to say something mean about the Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson. Yeah, I just don't believe in Anthony Richardson. I have zero belief that what Anthony Richardson does is going to be long-term successful in the NFL. Is he going to have big weeks? Absolutely. He's going to have huge weeks with his ability to run the football and his ability to use his arm to get to some of the wide receiver talent they have put together in Indianapolis. And Jonathan Taylor is going to help that offense operate and run. But I don't believe that he is going to consistently and sustainably play quarterback in the National Football League. I feel like even there are going to be some days when he's healthy, he just doesn't play well enough for the Colts to win. And I don't believe he's going to stay healthy. This is a guy that got hurt dancing in college. Right now, they're not even letting him throw in minicamp, or he didn't throw in minicamp for the Colts. He told Pat McAfee he's 95%, threw a pass on the Pat McAfee show, airmailed it from where he was trying to throw it, and then they wouldn't even let him throw in practice. If you're 95%, they let you throw in practice. And then he says to McAfee, I'm not going to change the way I play. Okay, well, you got hurt playing the way you play. You need to change the way you play so you can execute each and every week. I don't like the Colts because I don't like their quarterback situation. It's going to pop up and bite them more than it will help them over the course of the 2024 season. You will see. You will see. This is a Cody Stoots guarantee. You will see Joe Flacco this season start multiple games for the Indianapolis Colts. Let's talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, the super favorites for the AFC South title, who then just kind of tumbled and fell apart there at the very end of the season. I like their defense okay. I mean, it's not a bad defense, but they've got a lot of returning guys. They've got guys that have continued to get better over a couple of seasons. Travon Walker is a guy that's finally showing a little bit of promise that they thought he was going to have when he was the number one pick in the draft instead of Aiden Hutchinson. Huge mistake, by the way. Terrible, big mistake, by the way. They've got a nice secondary. They're putting some things together to be a really solid defense, and this is going to be a defense that is going to have to contend with some offensive-minded AFC South teams. And I like the base of this defense. Travon Walker gets a little bit better. They've got defensive Josh Allen. Linebacker play is okay. Secondary has been around playing with each other for a couple of seasons now. It's okay. I like the defense for Jacksonville a little bit more than probably most people. Quick second for my friends at Platinum AC and Heating. I don't have anything bad to say about them. Bad things about the AFC South teams. Nice things to say about Platinum AC and Heating. 5-star rated on the Better Business Bureau. 5-star rated on Google and Yelp. And the best services and best prices in town. Dwyane is going to take care of you. From repairs to replacements to tuning that AC up for the summer, making sure it's not working too hard, costing you money, and blowing the coldest air possible. Platinum AC and Heating will take care of you. From small houses to apartments to large residential buildings. If you own those, let Platinum AC and Heating take care of everything in there for you. You will not be disappointed with the best service and best prices in town. And Dwyane's a Texans fan just like you. So check him out and talk about some Texans and talk about getting your AC squared up and fixed up for this long, hot summer. Now, back to being nice and mean. Now let's be mean about Jacksonville. They're a bunch of cast-offs on offense. I mean, they're a bunch of cast-off players that are filling out their offensive system. I mean, the wide receivers, Gabriel Davis was a second guy that wasn't very good in Buffalo. Christian Kirk's never been a one except for in Jacksonville. Brian Thomas wasn't even the one at LSU. It was Malik Neighbors. I mean, it's a bunch of cast-offs, secondary guys that need to be top guys at the wide receiver spot. Then you look at their offensive line, and it's made up of trades that teams just kind of get rid of guys or cuts that aren't any good, though I do like Mitch Moroz, the center that they added from Buffalo. But again, Buffalo felt like they could just move on from him and be okay and still be competing in the AFC East without their starting center. I just don't love their offense overall. I mean, I like Trevor Lawrence okay, but he was disappointing last year. Doug Peterson's really got to hone in and take him to the next level. I just don't love that offense, and I just don't love the potential ceiling of that offense. The floor is pretty solid for that offense, but the ceiling, I don't know how great they're going to be on any given week. They might just be consistently good over the course of the season and then have stretches where they're bad like they did last year on offense, and that's probably not good enough to win the AFC South. So the nice thing, I like their defense a little bit more than everybody else. The bad thing, that offense. Ugh. Now for the Tennessee Titans. I mean, I was scraping and trying to find something that I like about this Tennessee team, and as I got to looking, they've actually got a little juice on defense. There's some juice to this defense, led by Jeffrey Simmons, who's one of the best defensive players in the AFC South and one of the best defensive tackles in all of football. They added some intense cornerback depth, trading for L'Jarius Sneed, signing Awuzie away from Cincinnati, and they've at least got some juice to that defense. Now, they've got to stay healthy, and they've got a bunch of guys that have injury concerns on that defense, including Awuzie, who's going to play that top corner spot opposite L'Jarius Sneed. But if they stay healthy, they should be a defense that should be able to put some things together and be a pretty tough out on any given Sunday. And I don't know if it consistently will be a really good defense, but there's some juice to their defense where some Sunday they're going to show up, play their tails off, and they're going to be a tough team to score points on a couple of Sundays over the course of the season. Now, flipping it over, I just don't believe in that offensive line or their quarterback for that matter. This offensive line, yes, I understand they've got one of the best offensive line coaches in all of football in Bill Callahan. And I understand that he's there and he's going to raise the talent level. And they've got Skoronski in his second year, and they spent the top draft pick on the offensive lineman. I just don't believe in their offensive line, which doesn't let me believe in the quarterback, Will Levis, because chaos creation around him leads to him creating a bunch of chaos as well. And by virtue of not believing in the offensive line, I don't believe in the running back situation. I would have just gone with Tyjae Spears and added somebody behind him instead of paying Tony Pollard coming off the year that he had with Dallas. Spears was a guy that they trusted a little bit last year, and he was developing something, spelling Derrick Henry here and there. I would have just made him the lead guy and then spent that money elsewhere if I was the Tennessee Titans instead of spending it on Tony Pollard. But I don't believe in the O-line, so I can't believe in the running backs that much. Now, look, if Callahan gets things done along the offensive line, coaches these guys up, and they've got something going on the offensive line, then Tennessee is going to be a lot better than most of us believe they are going to be. But I don't believe in that offensive line, and even though I like that defense just a little bit, I don't like them enough to overcome some of the issues that they have over on the offensive line. So what say you? What's your nice thing you want to say about the AFC South teams, and what's your mean thing you want to say about the AFC South teams? Let me know in the comment section down below. And, of course, as always, support our friends at Platinum AC and Heating. My guy Dwayne will take care of you. It is getting hot. It is staying hot. And did you know your AC might not be blowing? The coldest air it can blow, that summer tune-up can get your AC ready to rock. Or if you need repairs or replacements, the best prices and best service in town are with Platinum AC and Heating. My guy Dwayne. And by the way, he'll talk some Texans with you while you're out there hanging out, watching your AC get fixed up. You're probably not watching because that means it's hot inside the house. But anyway, when you talk to Dwayne, you can talk Texans and talk about the best service and best prices in town when it comes to fixing up your air conditioner. Hope you enjoyed the video. Appreciate you watching. Can't wait till we talk Texans again soon.